जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रील रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रील जीव गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। So thank you, dear devotees, once again for kindly being present here today in our discussion of Srila Rupa Goswami Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam. We are re-recording the introduction session, and when we first recorded the session, Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu Prabhu was hosting it. Since he's traveling back from India to the US, so he's not present here today, but we have all of his good wishes, and you know, by his good wishes and by his prayers and by all of your good wishes, we were able to complete the entire text of the Upadeshamritam in 60 sessions. And this is the introductory session, which we are recording again. And Param Karuna Prabhu is kindly here as the host today. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for kindly hosting today's session. I'm really grateful that you took over the responsibility as the host for today. And I'm very thankful for your like-mindedness, for all the wonderful thoughts that you put in, all the wonderful queries that you've asked throughout all these sessions. I'm very grateful for that, and very grateful to all the wonderful devotees who've been a part of this journey. Dear devotees,
always at your seva, Prabhuji.
Rojit, thank you all the other devotees for kindly joining in. I'll share my screen and we will begin the introductory session on Srila Rupa Goswami's Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam. So this was the presentation that was shown when we began the series. It's the same presentation again, maybe with a few small edits. A fresh verse was composed for offering obeisances to Srila Rupa Goswami. Shuddhyartham mama dehasya jalasnanam karomyaham Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam Svatmanah Parishuddhaye. Shuddhyartham mama dehasya jalasnanam karomyaham. For the purification of my physical body, I perform jalasnan. I bathe regularly using water. Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam Svatmanah Parishuddhaye. But Parishuddhaye, for the thorough purification of Svatmanah, of my soul, Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam karomi. I bathe in the nectar of the words of Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. Dear devotees, Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam is a text which is very dear to so many Vaishnavas around the world, so many followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Before we begin understanding any particular text, we should know that there are 4 essential factors of any particular book. And what are the 4 essential factors? Adhikari cha sambandha vishayascha prayojanam. So these 4 factors are as follows. Adhikari cha sambandho vishayascha prayojanam granthadaveva vaktavyam anubandha chatushtayam. Anubandha chatushtayam. The 4 anubandhas, the four essential factors should be spoken at the beginning of a grantha, at the beginning of a book. What are the four essential factors? Vishaya. What is the subject matter of the book? Adhikari. Who is the person eligible to understand or read the book? Sambandha. What is the relationship between the book and the Vishay? How does the book relate to the subject? And what is the prayojan? What is the goal to be attained by understanding this book? So, dear devotees, for our particular text, Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam, the Vishay, the subject matter of the book, is very succinct instructions, Upadesh, on Vaidhi Bhakti and Ragamarg Bhakti. And a special focus in the final three verses on attaining the mood of servitude to Shri Radharani and Radhakund. So this is the Vishay, subject matter of the book. Second is Adhikari. Who is the person eligible to read the book? Originally, it is said in a few places that the book was, this particular compilation of verses was meant for Srila Jiva Goswami. We'll get into that. But the Adhikari or the intended person for reading the book, for understanding the book, is anyone who's practicing Vaidhi Bhakti and is aspiring for Raga Bhakti. Because somebody who's practicing Vaidhi Bhakti can go up till verse number 7. But verse number 8 onwards, the domain of Raganuga Bhakti begins. So anybody who's practicing Vaidhi Bhakti, who wishes to advance into the path of Raga Bhakti, or anybody who's already practicing Raga Bhakti but wishes to know how to execute it in great detail, they are adhikaris, eligible people for reading and understanding this particular literature. Third is Sambandha. What is the relationship between the book and the Vishay, between the book and the subject matter? The relationship is Vachya Vachak Sambandha. The subject matter, that is Vishay, is Vachya, is described, and the book Upadeshamritam is Vachak, the describer. So, thus the Sambandh is Vachya Vachak or Vachak Vachya Sambandha. Described and describer. The subject matter is described and the book is the describer. That is the relationship between the book and the subject matter. And Prayojana, what is the goal to be attained? The goal to be attained is to be completely fixed in bhajan for attaining servitude of Sri Radha while residing in Radhakund. This is the aim to be attained after understanding this particular book. The final three verses are repeatedly impelling the sadhak to go reside at Sri Radhakund. So that is what the prayojan of this particular literature is. Now, I said that this literature was originally composed for Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada. Now, what is the basis for saying that this literature was composed originally for Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada? Why am I saying that it was originally meant for Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada? So, I am saying this because the commentator Shri Radha Raman Das Goswami has mentioned this directly in his commentary. What has he said? Yo hi jivopadeshastu Śrīmad Rūpa Prakāshitah Sadhakanam Upakritau Tad Vyakhya Maya. So Shri Radharaman Das Goswami's introductory verse itself is very clear. Yo hi jiva upadeshastu. These instructions are for jiva. Now somebody may say jiva can mean a living entity, right? But no, here jiva specifically is referring to Sri Jiva Goswami, because in the third line, sadhakana upakrita, Rupa Goswami has said it is for bestowing benefit on sadhakas. It's not for all jivas. Therefore, the intended audience is sadhaka. That is mentioned in the third line, not all the jivas. Therefore, in the first line, when he is saying jiva upadesha, so it means not upadesha for all jivas. It means upadesha for one particular personality named Shri Jiva Goswami. That is the meaning. Yo hi jiva upadeshastu Śrīmad Rūpa Prakāshitah Sadhakanam Upakritau Tad Vyakhya Arabhyate Maya. So these instructions for Jiva, Shri Jiva Goswami, revealed by Shri Rupa Goswami, are meant for Upakritau, for bestowing immense benefit, upakar, upon the sadhakas. Tad Vyakhya Arabhyate. I commence my explanation on these instructions. So this is very clear. So one of the commentators himself has specified that this literature was originally written for Shri Jiva Goswami. This is also confirmed by a manuscript notice, because there are many manuscripts in India, so many millions of manuscripts in India, and often various scholars list down the names of manuscripts and give some details about them. So there was a book published by Rajendra Lal Mitra, Notices of Sanskrit Manuscripts, multi-volume book, and these were mainly manuscripts in West Bengal. So in the 8th volume, on page number 13, he has listed manuscript number 2560. His manuscripts went above 10,000. So this is 2560 manuscript number. And we can see here, those who can read Devanagari, they can see Upadeshamritam. So this manuscript is country-made paper, 13 into 4.5 inches. But he says 43 shlokas. The extent is 43 shlokas. Character Bengali. And he says who's the person with whom it was deposited. The manuscript appears old. Now today we don't have 43 shlokas with us. Maybe some verses were added later by somebody else. But the author is listed clearly as Shri Rupa Goswami. Upadeshamritam, arguments for and against asceticism, addressed to Jiva Goswami by Rupa Goswami. Rajendra Lal Mitra also gives the beginning of the manuscripts, Vacho Vega, Manasah Krodha Vega. It is similar to the verse that we have today. And he gives the end, Krishna Syoche Pranaya Vasatihi Preyasi Bhyopi Radha Kundam Chasya Munibirabitas Tadrigeva Vyadhai. So the end is also similar to what we have today. There are some variations. Sometimes the person who copies the manuscript is not very well versed in Sanskrit. They end up making some mistakes while copying the manuscripts. So maybe some errors have occurred in copying it. And therefore, we have some errors here. For example, Etan Vegan Yo Visaheta. It should not be Visaheta, it should be Vishaheta. There should be Shatva Vidhan. The Sa should change to Sha. But it has not been done in this manuscript. And Sarvam api mam prithivim, so Shushyat is given. Shushyat is not Shushyat, it's Shishyat. So there are some scribal errors in this manuscript, but it says that these instructions were originally meant for Shri Jiva Goswami. Now there is a Kim Vadanti. Kim Vadanti means Kim Vadanti. We don't know who said it. There is no documented reference of it, but there's a Kim Vadanti as to how this Upadeshamritam came to be spoken to Shri Jiva Goswami by Shri Rupa Goswami. Shri Jiva Goswami had gone to Kashi, Varanasi, on the order of Shri Rupa Goswami. Actually, Shri Jiva Goswami's father, Shri Anupam, he left this world when Shri Jiva Goswami was merely an infant. When he grew up to be 5 years of age, he saw around him that his father has left the world. He saw around him that his uncles have departed. Shri Rup and Shri Sanatan Goswami have departed for Vrindavan. And he saw that the political conditions in India at that point of time were very unfavorable. You see, a person is any personality, even though they may be great personalities. The political situation around them often influences their mood and nature. This is also seen in the character of Srila Prabhupada. When he first met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, the mood of Gandhi's non-violence and self-sufficiency had overtaken the persona of Srila Prabhupada. So, Acharyas may be creators of new circumstances, but often Acharyas are also products of their existing circumstances, dear devotees. So, Acharyas are able to usher in new circumstances in the world. They are trend setters, but they are also products of the trends which occurred before them. And therefore, Shri Jiva Goswami also was immensely affected by the situation around him. He saw a world in which the lower stratum of the society and the higher stratum of the society, these were the two strata in the Indian Hindu society where he was. The higher stratum of the society was busy in bootlicking the Nawab, the king, the Muslim ruler of that particular time. And the lower stratum of the society were suffering like anything. On seeing this, a particular person may develop detachment from the world. There is nothing left to achieve in this particular world. Nothing left to achieve. All the goals of life that a particular person wants to achieve, when those goals of life are untenable, they are so uncertain. And he had seen that in the lives of his own uncles, that although they were very learned, Shri Rupa and Shri Sanatan Goswami, very learned, but they too, under certain circumstances, were forced to take service under Nawab Hussain Shah. What were those circumstances, we do not know. But Shri Rupa Goswami and Shri Sanatan Goswami, although born in Hindu families, Brahmin families, Against their will, they had to take up service with Nawab Hussain Shah, although they knew that undertaking such service means that they had become Jati Bhrashta. They had fallen from their Brahmin status, but still they took this service. In the Hari Bhakti Vilas, it is said, Seva Shvavritti. Service, to take service, is to live the life of a dog. To take somebody's service is to live the life of a dog. Because ideally, a Brahmana should be free. But they were forced to take up service. And which service? Raj Seva. Raj Seva, service of the king, is considered to be the worst amongst all types of services. You do not have any fixed time. The king may call you at any moment. Any plans that you have can be overridden by the king's statements. You do not get free time to even chant your Sandhya properly. Jiva Goswami had seen all of this and heard of all of this. It was natural that Sri Jiva Goswami developed Vairagya. And after developing Vairagya, Sri Jiva Goswami once got along with a group of individuals who were going to Vrindavan, and on a bullock cart left for Sri Vrindavan. When he arrived in Sri Vrindavan, he found out where his uncle Sri Rupa and Sri Sanatan Goswami were staying. Dear devotees, Sri Jiva Goswami was immensely attached to Sri Rupa and Sri Sanatan Goswami. Why? Because in the absence of the father, these were the father figures for him. They were the representatives of Sri Anupam for Sri Jiva Goswami. Only a person who has lost his father at an early age, they know what it is to feel that lack of fatherly figure in their lives. And Sri Jiva Goswami found his father figure in Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, like a father, told Sri Jiva Goswami that you are very young. This is not the most ideal time to retire to Vrindavan. First and foremost, you should become equipped with knowledge to understand who is Shri Krishna. You should prepare yourself for study. And since you are a Brahmana, Pathan and Pathan, studying and teaching, are your first two responsibilities. Do not take Atur Vairagya. Do not take any renunciation in haste. You should go and study first. Then when your mind is settled down, if you do not wish to marry, then you come back, and then definitely you can stay in Vrindavan. Then Sri Rupa Goswami gave a letter of recommendation and said, please go to Varanasi and give this to Madhusudan Vidya Vachaspati. Now, Sri Madhusudan Vidya Vachaspati was a very learned scholar in Varanasi. He is different from Sri Madhusudan Saraswati. So, Madhusudan Vidya Vachaspati was proficient in Sanskrit grammar, Aniniya Vyakaran. So, Madhusudan Vidya Vachaspati was the one who got this letter from Sri Rupa Goswami saying, "This is my nephew and please enroll him in your school of Sanskrit grammar." Why Sanskrit grammar? Yo Veda Veda Vadanam Sadanam hi Samyak Brahmya Savedamapi Veda Kimanya Shastram Yasmadatah Prathamame Vidvan Shastrantarasya Bhavati Shravane Dhikari. Shri Bhaskaracharya says, Yo Veda Veda Vadanam. Veda is compared to a person, and the 6 Vedangas, 6 limbs of the Vedas. Amongst that, Mukham Vyakaranam Spritam, the face of the Veda is Vyakaran grammar. Yo Veda Veda Vadanam, one who understands the face of the Vedas, Vyakaran. Sadanam hi Samyak Brahmya, he understands the abode of Saraswati. So Vedam api Veda, he will understand even Veda. Kimanya Shastram, what to speak of other literature? A person who understands Sanskrit grammar can understand even Veda. Yasmadatah prathamam vidvan. Therefore, a vidvan, a learned person, will first and foremost study Sanskrit grammar, so that Shastrantarasya bhavati shravane dhikari, he becomes eligible for reading and understanding other Shastras. Therefore, first and foremost, Vyakaran, grammar. So in traditional India, the first discipline that is taught to a student is Shiksha, how to pronounce the syllables properly, how to write them properly, and then Vyakaran, grammar. So Sri Jiva Goswami studied Sanskrit Vyakaran under Sri Madhusudan Vidya Vachaspati. And for further studies, it is said that he went to Shri Raghunath Shiromani, who was the disciple of Sri Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. And from Raghunath Shiromani, he studied Vedanta, Navya Nyaya, etc. And then Sri Jiva Goswami, when he was in his around 17 or 18 years of age, he completed his studies and came back to Shri Vrindavan. This time, Sri Jiva Goswami was equipped with knowledge of so many Shastras. He had all the background that is needed to not only understand the existing Shastras, but also comment upon existing Shastras and also write, compose new Shastras. So the stage was set for Sri Jiva Goswami to give profound contribution in the Sampradaya of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Rupa Goswami at that point of time was revising his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, his magnum opus, Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. When Sri Jiva Goswami came back, Sri Rupa Goswami asked him to sit beside him and edit the text, see if there is something that is appearing inconsistent, and if there are any questions, ask any questions and doubts. Sri Jiva Goswami had this sankalpa in his mind that I will comment upon this work, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and many other works. So from the beginning, Sri Jiva Goswami started studying Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He would ask doubts every day. And he would also see his uncle Sri Rupa Goswami composing verses or revising some verses. One particular day, Sri Rupa Goswami was again considering the verse on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and Sri Jiva Goswami was sitting next to him, fanning him. At that point of time, a particular Vidwan, some individuals say his name was Shri Vallabha Bhatt. He's different from Shri Vallabhacharya. He's not Shri Vallabhacharya. Shri Vallabha Bhatt. He came to see Shri Rupa Goswami because he was visiting Vrindavan, and some people told him that there is a very nice Vidwan stays here, Shri Rupa Goswami, very nice devotee. Sri Vallabh Bhatt came and asked Sri Rupa Goswami, what is he doing? So Sri Rupa Goswami said, I am, revising my Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And what is this literature about? It is about Bhakti, the definition of Bhakti, what Bhakti is. And Sri Vallabh Bhatt asked, which verse are you currently writing? Can you show me something? So Sri Rupa Goswami showed him this particular verse, which he was currently working upon. Bhukti mukti spriha yavat pishachi hridi vartate tavat bhakti sukham bhodhe kathamabhyudayo bhavet. So, bhukti mukti spriha yavat pishachi hridi vartate tavat bhakti sukham bhodhe katham abhyudayo bhavet. Katham, how is it possible? Bhakti sukham bodhe abhyudayo. For the ocean of devotional happiness to appear in the heart. As long as bhukti mukti spriha pishachi hridi vartate. As long as the witches of desire for sense enjoyment and liberation remain present there. So Sri Vallabh Bhatt said, because he was also learned, he said this is good, but this verse appears as a criticism of bhukti and mukti. Bhukti is material enjoyment, mukti is liberation. You may critique bhukti to be a pishachi, to be a witch, but critiquing mukti to be a pishachi seems inappropriate to me. If you wish, after you compose your literature, you should, you can bring it once to me, and I'll definitely be pleased to have a look at it and try to suggest some improvements. So with this mood, because he was a tikakar, he was a commentator, he had this habit of commenting upon, these works of scholarship and such as Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So Sri Rupa Goswami smiled and said, okay, definitely. But Sri Jiva Goswami was unhappy on seeing this critique of his uncle. Because, Sri Jiva Goswami had invested immense love in Sri Rupa Goswami. Immense love. Sri Rupa Goswami was like a father to Sri Jiva Goswami. And we all adore our father figures, and we all want our fathers to be perfect. Nobody can easily tolerate somebody coming and finding a fault with their father. Sri Jiva Goswami could not take it so easily. Although in the presence of Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami did not say anything because it is against Shishtachar, it is against behavior of civilized people. But later, Sri Jiva Goswami, after Vallabh Bhatta had left, later Sri Jiva Goswami said to Sri Rupa Goswami, I'd like to excuse myself, I'll go, I'll go to the river, maybe take a bath and come back. Sri Rupa Goswami said, all right. Sri Jiva Goswami went. And Sri Jiva Goswami found out, he traced where Sri Vallabh Bhatta was, and he went to him and said, my dear sir, I just want to speak to you about what you said to my uncle, Sri Rupa Goswami. Sri Vallabh Bhatta said, yes, yes. So Sri Jiva Goswami then said, you found out a mistake in the verse of my uncle. Did you properly study the verse? Because I studied it. Did you properly study the verse? So Sri Vallabh Bhatt, he said, yes, it was about, bhukti and mukti being compared to witches. No, you did not understand the verse. What was the verse? Bhukti mukti spriha yavat pishachi hridi vartate. My uncle, Rupa Goswami, he had written correctly. You know, if you see that particular verse, what was that verse? Bhukti mukti spriha pishachi. Bhukti and mukti, sense enjoyment and liberation, are not compared to a witch. Bhukti mukti spriha, the desire for sense enjoyment and the desire for liberation, is being compared to a witch. Why did you misconstrue that my uncle is comparing bhukti and mukti to witches? He is comparing the desire for bhukti and mukti to witches. So why, Shri Vallabha, did you find a mistake where there is no mistake present? So Shri Vallabha at this point of time was astonished by the knowledge of Sri Jiva Goswami. Obviously, he was the disciple of Madhusudan Vidyavachaspati and Raghunath Shiromani. And Shri Vallabha then went back to Sri Rupa Goswami and he said, I'm really, I just want to come and say, I'm really sorry. I couldn't understand what you had written. Rupa Goswami said, no, why are you saying like this? Well, I could not understand that. I could not, at first glance, I couldn't see that you were comparing bhukti, mukti, spriha, the desire for bhukti and mukti, to which, not bhukti and mukti themselves to a witch. Rupa Goswami said, but suddenly what happened? Yes, I didn't say anything to you. Did anyone say anything to you? No, that the boy who was sitting besides you, what's his name? Oh, he's Jiva. He's my nephew. He's brilliant. He's brilliant. He pointed out to me what my mistake was. So at this point of time, Sri Rupa Goswami understood what had happened. Sri Jiva Goswami was justified in counteracting Sri Vallabh Bhatt because the point was justified. It was not a mistake in the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, it was a mistake in the understanding of Sri Vallabh Bhatt. But what Sri Rupa Goswami had an objection with is that Sri Jiva Goswami, because of his anger, he did what people do in Kashi, in Varanasi. They immediately start a debate. And now if the same culture comes to Vrindavan through my nephew, then the ghats of Vrindavan will become like the ghats of Kashi, where on every ghat there is a debate going on because the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started this trend. Shri Rupa Goswami wanted Vrindavan to remain a place of bhajan mainly, where such disturbances do not take place. So when Sri Jiva Goswami came back, Sri Rupa Goswami at that point of time, in a very serious tone, said to Sri Jiva Goswami that you have made a terrible mistake. And what is the mistake? The mistake of getting angry. But I became angry for a just cause. At that time, Sri Rupa Goswami quoted a verse. Apakarini chet kopah, kope kopah katham nate, dharmartha kama mokshanam prasayya paripanthini. Apakarini chet kopah, if you become angry on somebody who harms you or somebody who harms somebody dear to you, you become angry on that person. Kope kopah katham nate. Why don't you become angry on your anger? Because the entity which is harming you the most is your own anger. If you become angry on entities who harm you, you should actually become angry on your anger, because your anger harms you the most. Dharma, artha, kama, mokshanam. Because your anger is a direct enemy, an extreme enemy, prasayya paripanthi, an extreme enemy of the four goals of life: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. So you show anger at someone who harms you in some way. If this is the case, then why do you not direct your anger at anger itself? This anger of yours is a great obstacle in the attainment of any human goal, such as dharma, artha, kama, moksha, etc. So, dear devotees, at this point of time, Sri Rupa Goswami said, you are not, this point of time, you do not have the mindset of a Vairagi who can stay in Vrindavan. So, you please, go out of Sri Vrindavan. This is not a suitable mood to stay in Vrindavan. So Sri Jiva Goswami at that point of time felt disheartened, and he did not argue against his uncle. Dear devotee, this is very important. He did not argue against his uncle, and he went to the northern side of Vrindavan, outside the borders of Sri Vrindavan. On the banks of the Yamuna, he found a hole in the ground. This hole was made by a crocodile, and this crocodile was no longer staying there. So Sri Jiva Goswami, used that hole to reside. And during the day, he would beg for some atta, some wheat flour, and that atta he would mix with water, and he would have a rule that he would not eat anything that was touched by fire. In this way, Sri Jiva Goswami started living outside the borders of Sri Vrindavan on the northern side. After some time, Sri Sanatan Goswami came and requested Sri Rupa Goswami to call back Sri Jiva Goswami, because it's important to call back a person who has understood, who has learnt, what you wanted to teach them. So Sri Rupa Goswami then called back Sri Jiva Goswami, and when Sri Jiva Goswami came back, Sri Rupa Goswami was sitting next to him. And at that point of time, Sri Rupa Goswami spoke a verse from Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu to him. शोकामर्षादिभिर्भावैराक्रान्तं यस्य मानसं कथं तस्य मुकुन्दस्य स्फूर्ति संभावना भवेत्. Rupa Goswami said, Katham tasya mukundasya spurti sambhavana. What is the possibility of remembering Mukunda? For a person whose consciousness, yasya manasam, has become akrantam, overrun by negativities. What negativities? Shoka, amarsha, anger, lamentation, etc. So, my dear nephew, if you wish to stay in Vrindavan, you should overcome your anger, your lamentation, your negative qualities. This is a place for performing bhajan. At that point of time, Sri Jiva Goswami asked, how should I do it? Please give me some practical instructions. So Sri Rupa Goswami said, your anger manifested in your speech to Vallabh Bhatta. And therefore, Vacho Vegam, Manasaha Krodha Vegam, Jihva Vegam, Udaropastha Vegam, Etan Vegan Yo Vishahet Dhiraha, Sarvam Api Mam Prithivim Sashishyat. Shishyat, you wanted to instruct, you wanted to discipline Vallabh Bhatta. Forget about Vallabh Bhatta, you can discipline the entire world. But first and foremost, Vacho Vegam. You should know how to control the urge of your speech. And often this urge arises because of Manasaha Krodha Vegam, the urge of the mind and the urge of anger. Jihva Vegam. And often these arise because of uncontrolled tongue. And Udar Upastha Vegam. And often, these other urges, such as the urge of the belly and the genitals, also arise. Etan Vegan Yo Vishaheta. All these urges, somebody who can properly tolerate, that person, not only Vallabh Bhatta, but the entire earth, he can discipline. These dear devotees, these 11 instructions became known as Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam. Now, there are many scholars who say that Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam is not a composition of Shri Rupa Goswami. It was later written by somebody and attributed to Shri Rupa Goswami. So there are scholars such as Sushil Kumar De, etc., who say that this composition is not mentioned anywhere as the composition of Shri Rupa Goswami. No commentator, no Shri Jiva Goswami, not Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, nobody has mentioned that Shri Rupa Goswami wrote a text named Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam. Of course, they have not mentioned it like that because Shri Rupa Goswami had not given this text for the general public. He had given it specifically as a private set of instructions for Shri Jiva Goswami. If you see all the texts written by Shri Rupa Goswami, all the texts, there are general instructions. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is general instructions. If you see Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami is not spoken about Radha Kund in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. There is no mention of Radha Kund. Why should a very specific instruction be given to the general mass of people? So all the works of Rupa Goswami that were listed by the Acharyas were general instructions like Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, etc. Or they were stutis, Stavamala, glorification of Radha Krishna, etc. But this was a very specific set of instructions meant for a particular person. And therefore, its name is often not counted in the list of the general works of Shri Rupa Goswami because it was not written for the general audience. It was written for a very specific personality, Shri Jiva Goswami. All right, this is one reason why our Acharyas, especially the recent Acharyas such as Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Sri Radharaman Das Goswami, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur have accepted the Upadeshamritam as a bona fide composition of Srila Rupa Goswami. Usually, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is very careful before declaring that a particular composition belongs to a particular author. But even if you see the mood of the verses, it is fully, all the verses are fully in line with the mood of Sri Rupa Goswami. Now, there is another reason why our Acharyas also very strongly say that this is a composition of Sri Rupa Goswami. Well, composition in the sense it is a compilation because many verses are taken from different sources, but it is mainly a compilation of Sri Rupa Goswami. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur specifies another origin of Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam. He says that although Sri Rupa Goswami has given it to Sri Jiva Goswami, but originally Sri Rupa Goswami also had heard it from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Where was this? In his commentary to the 11th verse of Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam, in Anuvritti to the 11th verse, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has composed these Bengali payas. So these are the Bengali payas of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Govinda bachane jani, ihai gauranga vani, aprakat kale sar katha. नीलाचल सिंधु तीरे श्री गौरांग धीरे धीरे बलिला नीला भक्त कथा. So, Govinda Vachane Jani. The following is known from Shri Govinda Dev Kavi. Some people misinterpret Govinda as Govinda Das, the servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No. From Govinda Dev Kavi, Sri Govinda Dev Kavi, who was a biographer of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wrote Gaura Krishnodaya. So from his words it is known, Ihai Gauranga Vani. This is the word of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Aprakata Kale Sarakatha. But that during the end of his manifest pastimes, Sri Gauranga, what did he do? Nilachale Sindhu Tire, at the shore of the ocean in Jagannath Puri, Sri Gauranga bole dhire dhire. He started speaking slowly. Balila Shunila Bhakta Katha, and the devotees listened to his talks. Gauramukha Upadesh Sarva Amrita Rashesh Śrī-Rupa Goswami Prabhuvara Karna Dvara Pana Kari Lekhani Tatah Dari Kali Jive Dila Bhavahara. Gauramukha Upadesh, the instructions that came from Gaura's mouth, Sarva Amritera Shesh, were like Upadesh Amrit. They were like condensed nectar. They were Upadeshamrita. And who heard? Many devotees heard, but Śrī-Rupa Goswami Prabhuvara. The main Prabhu who heard there was Śrī-Rupa Goswami. Karnadvara Pan Kari, he relished it through his ears. And Lekhani te tahadhari, and wrote it down using his pen. And Kali Jive Dila Bhavahara. And in this way he bestowed upon the jivas of his age the method to vanquish material life, Bhavahara. So this is mentioned very clearly. Now, the Gaura Krishnodaya was published, fortunately, and at the end, the final chapter of Gaura Krishnodaya, the final section, 18th Sarga, is the final chapter of Gaura Krishnodaya, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu departs from this world on the ocean shore of Jagannath Puri. So, these are the direct verses mentioned in the Gaura Krishnodaya. I am giving this is a scan of the 18th Sarga, the 18th chapter, verses 52 to 56. Those who can read Bangla, they can read the first verse, verse number 52. Krishniti yasya giritam manasadriyeta. This was the first verse that came from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mouth. Dikshasti chet pranatibhischa bhajantamisham. So this is actually today, it is verse 5 of Upadeshamritam. Below that, the second verse is Shri Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapya Vidya Pittopatapta Rasanasya Narochikanu. This today is verse number 7 of Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Trishtai Svabhava Janitair Vapu Shascha Doshair. Here it says Vapushastu Doshair. Na Prakritatvam Iha Bhakta Janasya Pashyahe. This today is verse number 6. Then it says Shri Krishna Nama Charitarhana Kirtananu Stutyoho. There are some changes, This is verse number 8 today. Tannam Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu Smrityaho Kramena Rasanama Nasi Niyojya Tishtan Vraje Tatanuragi Jananugami Kalam Naye Dakhilan Mityupadesha Saram. This one says Kalam Nayen Nikhilam Mityupadesha Sarah. This is small changes, verse number 8. Now then there is a surprising verse. He Krishna Nirad Ruche Tadidabh Kanta Panga Prasada Bhara Phulla Mukhar Vinda Rase Lasantam Amuyashramavāri Yuktam Tvam Vijayami Lalitadyanukampaya Kim. Now this verse has not made it to Upadeshamritam. So, what is this verse? So, dear devotees, for the first time, a verse attributed to Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam, I am translating and giving. This verse has never before been translated in English. So, this is the first time English translation of a verse attributed to Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam in the biography named Gaur Krishnodaya. In chapter 18, verse number 56, this was the verse. He Krishna Nirad Ruche Tadidabh Kanta Panga Prasada Bharaphulla Mukhar Vinda Rase Lasanta Mamuyashramabari Yuktam Tvam Vijayami Lalitadyanukampaya Kim. So, this particular verse we may have not seen in Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam because this particular verse has not made it to the recent, you know.
Prabhuji, your audio is gone. Can others hear, Prabhuji? Can you say something, Prabhuji?
So this was the verse, that is additional verse attributed to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his Upadeshamritam. Hey Krishna Nirad Ruche Tadidabh Kanta Panga Prasada Bharaphulla Mukharavinda Rase Lasantama Muyashramavari Yuktam Tvam Vijayami Lalitadyanukampaya Kim. So this verse is in the meter Vasanta Tilakam, same as most of the verses of Brahma Samhita. So, hey Krishna, oh Krishna, Niradaruche, oh somebody having a dark cloud-like complexion, oh Krishna, oh Lord having a dark cloud-like complexion. Then there is a long samas, long term. Tadidabha Kanta Panga Prasada Bhara Phulla Mukhara Binda. Oh Lord having a face, Mukha, which is like a lotus, Arvinda, which is blossoming, Phulla, due to the Prasada Bhar, outpour of mercy, in the form of Apanga, sidelong glances of Kanta, of your beloved Radha, who has Tadidabh, who has lightning golden hue. O Shri Krishna, Rase Lasantamamuya, Shramavari Yuktam Tvam Vijayami, Lalitadyanukampaya Kim. When will it be? Will it be that by the mercy of Lalitadi, Sri Lalita, etc., I will Vijayami, I will fan that effulgent form of you along with her, her means along with Sri Radha, when you are replete with perspiration, Shramavari Yuktam, Rase Lasantam, in the Ras Leela. This is a verse, dear devotees, which has not yet been translated. This is the first time translation of the verse of Gaura Krishnodaya. This verse was also spoken as a part of Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam. Immediately after this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu departs from the planet on the shore of the ocean. So these are, two origin stories of the Upadeshamritam. And both of them can be simultaneously correct. That, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke it to Sri Rupa Goswami. Later, Sri Rupa Goswami spoke it to Sri Jiva Goswami. These two are not mutually contradictory. Although the this particular story of Upadeshamritam being recited by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the ocean shore of Jagannath Puri is mentioned by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But now I am giving a personal opinion. This is my personal opinion, and please feel free to disagree if some of you disagree, that the Upadeshamritam may have been Sri Rupa Goswami's original set of instructions to Sri Jiva Goswami, because other acharyas like Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur say that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not disappear on the shore of the ocean. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur says that Mahaprabhu's disappearance was at a different location. So in his Gauranga Smaran Mangal Stotram, he composes a verse. This is verse 101 in the meter Mandakranta. Ha ha kashtam sakala jagatam bhakti bhajam vishesham गोपीनाथालय परिसरे कीर्तने यः प्रदोषे अप्राकट्यं बत समभजन मोहयन् भक्तनेत्रं वन्दे तस्या प्रकटचरितं नित्यम् अप्राकृतं तम्. Ha ha kashtam, alas, alas, a great distress fell upon Sakala Jagatam, the entire world. Bhakti Bhajam Vishesham, especially upon the devotees. What happened? Kirtane Yaha Pradoshe, during the evening Kirtan, Pradosh Kirtan, where Gopinath Alaya Parisare, in the precincts of the Tota Gopinath Mandir, Aprakatyam Batasama Bhajan, Mahaprabhu exhibited his disappearance pastime while Mohayan Bhakta Netram, while bewildering the eyes of the devotees. One day I offer my obeisance, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, Tasya Aprakata Charitam, Nityam Aprakritam, to that Aprakrit, supramundane, Nityam, eternal pastime of Aprakata Charitam, of his disappearance. So in his Gauranga Smarana Mangal Sutram, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur has said that Mahaprabhu's disappearance was actually at the Tota Gopinath Mandir. And so this doesn't match with what is given in the Gaura Krishnodaya. While all the realizations of all the authors are respect worthy, it is my personal inclination to side with Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur's version of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disappearance. And thus, whatever is written in the manuscripts that Sri Rupa Goswami originally composed the verses in Upadeshamritam, this is the side that I personally favor. Although other devotees may favor this particular side, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke it and then Rupa Goswami wrote it down. I personally believe that Sri Rupa Goswami composed many of the verses in the Upadeshamrita, and some of them were taken from some other sources like Niti Shastra, Hitopadesh, etc. So this is what can be said about the origins of Sri Upadeshamritam. Now, having said this, we will have a brief look at the structure of the text of Sri Upadeshamritam. The Upadeshamritam has a total of 11 verses. The first verse describes the characteristics of a sober, controlled person who can instruct the entire world. This verse is not directly related to bhakti, but just what are the characteristics of a dhira. First become a dhira before entering into the path of bhakti. The meter of this verse is upajati. The second verse begins, the connection with bhakti begins from the second verse. 6 acts detrimental to bhakti. And these are atyahara, prayasascha, prajalpo, niyamagraha, janasangascha, laulyamcha. The meter is anushtup. The third verse is 6 acts favorable to bhakti, utsahan, nishchayat, dhairyat. The meter is again anushtup. The fourth verse is 6 symptoms of reciprocal affection, priti lakshanam, dadati, pratigrihnati, guhyam, akhyati, prichhati. Again, the meter is anushtup. The fifth verse is krishneti yasya giri, in the meter vasanti tilakam. It's about identifying and offering respects to different Vaishnavas according to their degree of advancement. So not only identifying them, how to identify them? but also how to offer them respects in different ways, according to their degree of advancement in their Krishna bhakti. The sixth verse is Drishtai Svabhava Janitair, again in the meter Vasanta Tilakam. It's about avoiding the materialistic tendency of fault finding in the physical body and psychological nature of Vaishnavas. So this is the sixth verse. The seventh verse again, Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapya Vidya. It specifies Krishna Nam as the means of removing avidya, beginningless ignorance of the jiva, as well as Krishna Nam as the means of attaining taste in Krishna Nam itself. So how to attain taste in Krishna Nam? It is by Krishna Nam itself. But Adarad Anudinam, two conditions will be specified. And we have discussed that, in great detail in the seventh verse. And this verse is in the meter Vasanta Tilakam. Eighth verse again, Tannama Rupa Charitadi is in the meter Vasanta Tilakam. This is Upadeshamritam. This is the essence of all instruction. So what should a devotee following the path of Raganuga Bhakti do? Where should such a devotee reside? Tishthan Vraje, should reside in Vraja. But where in Vraja? Verse 9 begins by establishing the supreme excellence of Shri Radha Kunda. Vaikuntha Janito Vara Madhupuri. By showing a hierarchy within the spiritual world. It begins with Vaikuntha. It very clearly says Vaikuntha Janito. Thereby it establishes that Radha Kund, which is being spoken of, it is a place originally in the spiritual world, and its replica is present here in the material world. And finally, it encourages the sadhak to reside at Shri Radha Kund. Verse number 10 also establishes the supreme excellence of Shri Radha Kund, but this time by showing a hierarchy of the various devotees and their moods. Karmibhyah parito harihi priyataya vyaktim yayur jnaninas. Thus encouraging the sadhak to reside eternally at Shri Radha Kund again. Again, the meter is Shardula Vikriditam. Finally, the 11th verse establishes the fact that Shri Radha is the greatest reservoir of Krishna Prem, and that those who take shelter of her Kund also get access to a similar mood of Prem under her guidance. This verse is in the meter Mandakranta. This is the basic structure of Srila Rupa Goswami's Upadeshamritam. While teaching this text, I have to give credit. I will be most ungrateful person if I don't give credit to the commentators whom I have referred to. So, in spirit of giving credit to the commentators, the commentaries that I have referred to is first and foremost in my spiritual life, I studied Nectar of Instruction by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, my Param Guru. His English commentary was published by Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. Secondly, Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam gloss of Shri Radharaman Das Goswami in the original Sanskrit I have studied, and I have translated it during the various sessions. Each and every word I have tried to translate in the various sessions of Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam. Third was Piyusha Varshini Vritti of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. This was in Bangla language. And fourth is Anuvritti of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. This also was in Bangla language. So, two Bangla commentaries were also referred by me in this particular series. Although there are song-based commentaries also by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam Bhasha, which is a song-based translation, and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also has written Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam Bhasha, which is also a song-based translation of the verses. But since their vrittis cover all the details that are there in their songs, so therefore I have only taken the vrittis. So that is what. These are the commentaries that I have referred to. For the first commentary, Nectar of Instruction, I have given credit to the publisher. The publisher is Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. For the remaining three commentaries also, I have to give credit to the publisher who has published. because without giving credit to the publisher who published, I will remain most ungrateful. And ungratefulness is not the characteristic of somebody who's aspiring to be a Vaishnava. The remaining 3 commentaries were taken from Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam of Sri Rupa Goswami Pad, published by Mayapur Sri Chaitanya Math, which is at Shridham Mayapur, Nadia, Paschim Bengal. So this was the edition which I used to get access to the remaining 3 commentaries. What are the remaining 3 commentaries? Commentary number 2, 3 and 4. The Sanskrit commentary of Sanskrit gloss of Sri Radharaman Das Goswami, the Piyush Varshini Vritti of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and the Anuvritti of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So these 3 I got from the edition published by Mayapur Sri Chaitanya Math, which is at Shridham Mayapur. So I have very fond memories of visiting Sri Chaitanya Math in Mayapur, and this is Masir Badi, a very nice prashad and very nice literature I got from there. Srila Rupa Goswami Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam. Dear devotees, this was the introduction to Srila Rupa Goswami's Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam. Yadatra skhalitam kinchit vidvamsah purayantu tat yadatra saushthavam kinchit tad guroreva me nahi. Yadatra skhalitam kinchit. If there's any mistake that I made in my presentation, vidvamsah, you're all learned devotees, purayantu tat, please correct any mistakes. Yadatra saushthavam kinchit. There's anything nice in the presentation, tad guroreva, it belongs to my Gurujanas. Me nahi, it doesn't belong to me. It belongs to my Gurujanas, my Diksha Guru, Sri Srimad Radha Govinda Das Goswami Maharaj, my Shiksha Gurus, all the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, in specific, Sri Srimad Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj, all the God brothers of Srila Prabhupada, all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas in all the family lineages that have appeared in the past, that will appear in the future, and that are in the present, including all of you are also my Gurujanas. Dear devotees, please bless me that I will properly understand the mood of Srila Rupa Goswami. So dear devotees, although I am a member of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, I honestly specified my sources from where I got my commentaries from, and I'm very thankful to the publisher, Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math in Mayapur, Masir Badi, where I got this particular literature. Masir Badi, I would, although this series is free from criticism of or promotion of any institution, but I'd like to say one thing personal, a personal recommendation, dear devotees. If you ever go to Shridham Mayapur, in the ISKCON temple, you get very nice prashad at Gada Bhavan. That's my personal favorite. And my personal favorite prashadam is also the afternoon prashadam, which I can never ever forget, at Masir Badi, Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math. And whenever I go to Shridham Mayapur, I always make it a point to never miss this particular prashadam, because every time I have that prashadam, I always feel that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has personally tasted that prashadam. Dear devotees, thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Rupa Goswami, all glories to Srila Jiva Goswami. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. It feels like a fresh start to the series. And maybe request you to redo the whole series as well at this point, because I certainly have forgotten many of the points that you made during, so it may be a refresher, a refreshing shower of nectar.
Thank you, bro. It's good we have recordings.
Yes,
Uh,
I thought you would say that. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll transition to question and answers.
Yeah. Before we do that, I would also like to thank from the bottom of my heart all the devotees who viewed the presentation. Thank you so much. You made the presentation successful, dear devotees. Thank you so much. Especially also, although we do not distinguish between anybody who attended the talks, but I'd also like to specify thanks to devotees who kindly reciprocated by giving some dakshina. My thanks to all of you who kindly gave in some dakshina for, as a token of unconditional reciprocation for this particular series of talks. So I'm very grateful to all those who did that. And I'm grateful to anybody who attended the series of talks, anybody who will view the lectures, the talks in the future as recordings. I'm grateful to all of you. Thank you very much. Yes, Prabhu, let's begin.
Okay. Ravirat Prabhu, please go ahead.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. So Prabhuji, I don't have question, but I want to express my gratitude that this series has been very excellent. Actually, all of us who are here would have studied Srila Prabhupada's work, which is very good. Then even the commentaries by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and Srila Radha Ramandas Goswami ji. So all are very much appreciated. And they, as you mentioned, they were vrittis, not the very detailed commentaries. So they gave the pointers, but then you expanded it. But what I would say is that now I am going through the series again, and I find that it will really take time, maybe one more year to digest it. Because if I continue in the same way by making my notes and applying it, see, it is also application in one's life. It is not just listening it. And even I am also thankful to the devotees who have asked so many questions, because those doubts maybe were not coming to my mind, but they clarified many things. And it has been means together a very great learning. And you have already mentioned who have contributed, but one more thing is there that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the work of writing the literature mainly to the Goswamis, where Srila Rup Goswami, Srila Sanatan Goswami, and Srila Jiva Goswami have done. And you brought out completely Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Ujjwal Neelmani, and many things from Shat Sandarbha, which are we have difficulty in accessing. It's a very big work. And Brahad Bhagavatamrit, because the difference between Dwarka Krishna, Mathura Krishna, and Vrindavan Krishna, that is very difficult to understand if someone explains in one or two lines. But bringing out that the differences and even pointing to the thing that the Vaikuntha Janita there refers to Dwarka, because Krishna is being mentioned, and you quoted the verses also to make that point. So it has been really, and the last one was, of course, amazing, that we would never have come to know until someone has read that Ujjwal Neelmani, that what is the prem which is being offered and why it is rare. So maybe acharyas were keeping it confidential, but thank you very much that you brought those points out. And even you referred to Ragvartam Chandrika of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and his other works, Ujjwal Neelmani Kiran and all. So I really, from my side, I wanted to express my deep gratitude. Means it's very grateful, and it is a life-changing thing. And if you don't get time right now, I think you will be publishing the book. So I wish you all the best for that, and it will be also a great thing for the society, complete Vaishnav society. As you have mentioned again and again, it is for entire Vaishnav. It's not that you are distinguishing anywhere. So entire Vaishnav society and any sadhak would be greatly benefited with the book when the book is also published. So thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ravirat Prabhu. It's coming from a dear God brother such as you, and you're also a Vidwan who has studied Shri Harinamamrita Vyakaranam, Laghu Siddhant Kaumudi. So coming from you, I'm deeply honored by your appreciation, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Really grateful.
Yeah, and this point again, last I missed. I think that this is unparalleled work once it is published, because you have composed so many verses. Each bringing out these verses is, Prabhuji, at least I can understand. I cannot compose this, but I can understand what effort and what caliber would be required to compose these work. And Chitra Kavya, I think, next to impossible kind of thing. So I'm very grateful to you, and all the Rup Goswami and all mercy is on you. So I pray for you continue to do this kind of work. So thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Ravirat Prabhu. I think you very nicely summarized so many wonderful points from the classes and the composition of the verses, everything that we have relished in Prabhuji's classes. Thank you so much for glorifying Prabhuji in such a nice way. We'll go to Jai Dwarka Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Once again, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for taking this introduction part. As I was reading the message of Mohit Deshmukh Prabhu that there are many new points. So I was just wondering that if Upadeshamritam is again taken by you, so I am damn sure, Prabhuji, that there will be many more new points coming out of your oceanic-like realizations. So we wish to relish this eternally and hear from you even same topic also again and again, because we know that every time there will be newer and newer points, and that will be shattering so many confusions and clouds of confusions which are obstacles. So really grateful to you, Prabhuji, for this series.
Yeah, there were many
Prabhuji,
things.
actually I had a
Yeah.
yes please.
Yes, there are many things, which we could have done more. The concept of Bhavollas Rati, for example, is one of them. But somewhere we have to stop. So maybe, this is where the series paused. And it's good if it ends at a particular time rather than going on indefinitely. So that is, a good closure is always brings dignity and grace to the presentation. So that is what I wanted to do. Otherwise, there's so many concepts which we could have discussed. One of the concepts which was on my mind was Bhavollas Rati, but which could have been discussed in the 11th verse. But let's see, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Yeah, you wanted to ask something.
Yes, so just is it possible that in future can we have some supplementary sessions also that may not form the part of this formal study, but that can be done separately as a like.
What I'm thinking is if we manage to get it published, then maybe some things I'll add in the publication if we manage to get it published. That is what I'm thinking.
Okay. Through publication we will get them.
Yeah.
Yes. Prabhuji, actually, I just wanted to ask a question from this point where you mentioned about the austerity done by Shri Goswami by taking the raw floor. So my question from this point was that generally that point is very much highlighted by you in many classes that this path is not for those who are ati vairagis.
Right.
So, can you please help us understand what is that? What is the meaning of that ati vairagi actually? Because these devotees of Vrindavan, like Shad Goswamis, they also appear to be too much vairagis. So, what is that ati vairagi?
No, we have a different understanding of Vairagya. What is Vairagya? Yeah, please tell me. Jai Dwarka Prabhu.
Vairagya means ki not accepting anything which is unfavorable for our devotional service, and accepting everything for the sake of service of the Lord.
So what is in Jiva Goswami's behavior? What is Ati Vairagi?
Like not eating even a cooked item also. Basic, simple cooked item also he could have taken.
See, the ascetic practices that you are seeing is not, they are attached to Vairagya sometimes, but they are not the core of Vairagya. What is at the core of Vairagya? At the core of Vairagya is the desire to give up any sort of interaction with the opposite gender. That is the core of Vairagya. Other things are ascetic practices. You know what a true, Ati Vairagi looks like. A true Ati Vairagi is somebody who has this prayer. In any of my lives, let me never ever come in contact with the opposite gender. This is one of the prayers. Where is it mentioned? It is mentioned in the Jivan Mukti Vivek, where sannyas is described, and Jivan Mukti Vivek, it specifies what is, this particular type of renunciation. So I will specify that verse in Jivan Mukti Vivek. I don't have it typed in Roman. Let me share my screen with you. Asmin janmani ma bhuvan putra daradayo mama. Iti ya susthira buddhi sa vairagyasya tivrata. What is Ati Vairagya? Ma bhuvan putra daradayo. Let me never have any wife, children, etc. Let me never have. I've had it. I do not want any more contact. When this susthira buddhi, when this mindset becomes fixed, not wavering, one day I don't want, another day I want, third day I don't want, fourth day I want. Susthira buddhi, when this becomes fixed, that is vairagyasya tivrata, that is Ati Vairagya. So the Goswami's Vairagya, and in such Ati Vairagya, a person gives up all descriptions, hearing all descriptions of the opposite gender. Sri Jiva Goswami says, even when such descriptions of girls and boys meeting, such as Bhagwan Shri Krishna and the gopis meeting, are found in Srimad Bhagavatam, this Ati Vairagi turns away from them because it's painful. He says it's painful. Affairs of boys and girls, they are all painful. This is the mind of the Ati Vairagi. Even when he reads them in Srimad Bhagavatam, he says, if I read and become attached to this, it will again result in pain for me. That is what you call an Ati Vairagi. So Sri Jiva Goswami is not that type of Ati Vairagi. The ascetic practices that you see in Sri Jiva Goswami are natural to him. They are not artificial. He's doing some, like he's not taking care of his body so that some Karuṇā can be invoked in Sri Rupa Goswami, some mercy can be invoked in Sri Rupa Goswami when he hears of him. Otherwise, it has nothing to do with the Ati Vairagya that is traditionally described in Shastra. So I hope that clarifies.
So can we just take it as a takeaway that Ati Vairagi here means anyone who turns away from the even the pastimes of Krishna, saying that they will contaminate my mind.
Yes.
Only this aspect, if somebody is perceiving of the Krishna Lila, then that person will be termed as Ati Vairagi. And it does not have anything to do with the personal practices regarding eating, sleeping, and other activities.
No, it has nothing to do with those other ascetic practices. Because, and I will quote Sri Jiva Goswami's commentary upon this particular point. Sri Jiva Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu in his commentary to, I think, if I remember, 3.5.2, he says something. Let me pull it out quickly. Yes, here it is. In 3.5.2 commentary, Sri Jiva Goswami says, Nivrittanupayogitvat, he's commenting upon that. Rupa Goswami says, Madhurya Rasa is not for those who are Ati Vairagis. He says, Nivritteshu, amongst those who are very detached, Ati Vairagi, Prakrita Shringara Rasa Samadrishtya, because of seeing only material, painful, affairs of boys and girls, Bhagavatadapi Asmad Rasad Virakteshu. They are detached from this even when these descriptions occur in the Bhagavatam, anupayogitvat. So this rasa is not suitable for them, ayogyatvat. It is not meant for them. That is what it is. It's specified with the source. Sri Jiva Goswami, in his own words, is specifying what is Ati Vairagya. All right.
Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Thank you. We'll go to Vishwadeep Roy Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, am I audible?
Yeah.
Prabhuji, I have a weak internet connection, so I will put my camera off. These days, the devotees are already praising about all the jewels that we got in this presentation of this whole Upadeshamritam series. I do not have any question, but I have just 2 points to make. That I really want to thank you for such great series that I am eternally indebted for it. What I have gained from this series is, like, first thing, that now I have this habit, which is the whole credit goes to you, that I have inculcated a habit that when I speak anything, I try to quote Shastra, and if I don't have Shastra, I do not say anything. So it really, the credit goes to you. So this is one thing that I have, in a small amount, I have got from you. And I have composed a small poem. I am not a poet, but I have just tried to offer a small poem to you. So do I have the permission to recite that?
Param Karuna Prabhu will give the permission. He is the host.
Absolutely, I would hear it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Prabhuji. So it is in Bengali, so I will just try to sing it. কি কহিব মোর ভাগ্য কি বা পুণ্যে হইল প্রাপ্ত তোমার সঙ্গ পাইয়া হইলাম ধন্য শাস্ত্রেতে দৃঢ় বিশ্বাস কৃষ্ণকে জানিবার আশ অন্য ইচ্ছা হইল নগণ্য প্রোৎসাহন যে তোমার তার বলে মোর আজ পুষ্ট হইল স্বাধ্যায় প্রচুর ভারতীর মহত্ব জানি পড়িতে আচার্য বাণী শিক্ষা নেওয়া উপক্রম হইল রূপ গোসাইয়ের পদ তোমার দ্বারা প্রকাশিত সূর্য সম হইল উদয় এই মোর এক আশ অঙ্গীকার করি কাজ শিক্ষা গুরু হয়ে মোরে সাধো That's all, Prabhu. Thank you so much for this
Hare Krishna.
class series. I am thankful to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for the kind words of encouragement. I offer your words of glorification to the Guru Parampara. because I've learned everything from them. Thank you so much for your heartfelt words, Vishwadip Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Beautiful. Thank you. Very heartfelt. Omkar Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for the enriching class today, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I had a question about this Krodha point which you focused in the Jiva Goswami's like this Kimvadanti. Main point was like Rupa Goswami was trying to instruct that you should not get angry even if the person is speaking something which is not correct by Siddhanta or basically misrepresentation of his book. So sometimes due to some commitments, we may come across such devotees or sometimes classes, etc. in our locality. In such cases, when we hear some explanations which are not correct according to the Shastra, naturally our heart, or let's say we develop a little tinge of anger, or let's say, I mean, not a bit interested in that. So would it also, I mean, in the vision of Rupa Goswami, will it also be counted as a kind of Vega which is completely undesirable? Because it's like in this world we cannot avoid completely being emotionless.
Right. So you see,
So
whenever, yeah, I understood the question. You see, whenever you go to a sabha, a gathering of devotees, and then somebody has been given the asan. What is that asan called?
Vyasasana.
Vyasasana. And that asan is situated above the asan of the person, people who are listening to it. And amongst all the people, the first person to be garlanded is the person who is sitting on the Vyasasana. So we consider that person for the time being as a representative of Shri Vyas. Now, Shri Vyas also in his own life has sometimes spoken philosophy which Narad Muni came and rejected. So with the Vyaspeeth also comes the possibility of speaking something which may be contradicted by another authority. So when it is true for Shri Vyas, it can also be true for others. But when we have given the Vyaspeeth to somebody, we should maintain the dignity of that Vyaspeeth. If we do not like a particular person's explanation, it is better if we don't go. But if we have gone, to that particular person's talk, we know before the talk begins, this person is going to speak. If we do not like, we can, pay pranams and move out. But not only, we don't do that. We sit there with the intention of finding flaws with the person who's sitting on the Vyasasana. That is our kutinati. That is our crookedness. That is where we are seriously lacking in Vaishnava Sadachar. That I am sitting in the audience, but I am sitting so that I can do Chidra Anveshan. I can find a fault with what the speaker is speaking. And later in front of everybody, I will tell him that you were mistaken here. I will recollect an incident from my own life. Once I went to an invitation, I was invited to a particular Gaudiya Vaishnava institution for speaking. This was not the institution that I belonged to, another institution where I went for speaking. And I was speaking on the definition of bhakti that Sri Rupa Goswami has given, Anya Bilashita Shunyam. And before me, there was one sannyasi who spoke. And after he spoke, I was asked to speak. And I said in the beginning of my speech, I said, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has defined what is yoga. Krishna has, defined many things in the Bhagavad Gita, but Krishna has not defined bhakti per se in the Bhagavad Gita. And then I went ahead and specified, how there may be verses that specify bhakti, manmanabha, mad bhakto, and sarva dharman parityajya, There may be verses like that, but the definition of bhakti, where it says this is the definition, this is the term bhakti, this is not there in the Bhagavad Gita. So after I spoke, then the sannyasi got on my case and said, how can you say that there is no bhakti in the Bhagavad Gita? I said, no, I wanted to say, no, sir, you have misunderstood. There is no definition of bhakti. But he misconstrued it. And then he gave me a 15-minute lecture right on the spot in front of the entire audience. I didn't say anything. Why? Because it's our duty to understand what is the glory of a Vyaspeeth. I cannot expect others to understand. I should understand. I should understand what is the importance of a Vyaspeeth. It is upon me. And I should not expect others to understand. So I am telling you for this reason that often in a Vaishnava society, we give external respect to people, but internally we have nothing but disrespect towards them. So this is what we should, not do, first and foremost. Secondly, if there is something that we have found incorrect in somebody's explanation, we should first go and verify from Shastra if it was genuinely incorrect. Then, if it is within our adhikar, and if, they are willing to listen to us, then we should go and do it. And not in a mood to correct them, but in a mood that at least through a samvad, if there is some alternate point of view that I have not heard, if that other person knows, then maybe they can tell me. And in a mood of samvad, I go there. But when Sri Jiva Goswami went, the mood was not of a samvad, of a cordial discussion. When Sri Jiva Goswami went there, the mood was of jalpa, of winning. That is what Sri Rupa Goswami did not like. That is the answer to your query.
Yes, sir. Only one point I wanted to ask. Like if we have a commitment and we will have to basically be in the sabha for a subsequent amount of time or time to come. So in such cases, I think it will be like a tolerance test for us to just keep quiet and just listen.
Obviously, when you are sitting in a sabha, you have decided that you will sit in a sabha. Now, if something, if they are saying something which is slightly discomforting to you, you should tolerate. See, when Vena was sitting on the highest asana, and he used to speak nonsense from the stage, for a great amount of time, what did the Brahmanas do?
They just tried to be quiet or explain him in a very gentle way.
What you're supposed to do. Otherwise, Vrindavan will turn into Varanasi, and every ghat will be a ghat for Shastrarth. And this is not the culture that we want to bring in Sri Vrindavan.
So the like feeling of uneasiness which we develop, is it basically because what Rupa Goswami wanted to teach, that you should not get angry? That's what like Rupa Goswami wanted. But I don't think so we can go to that level. Maybe we will be able to tolerate it. But
even if it is Manasaha Vegam, Krodha Vegam develops, at least let it not come to your speech, right? Don't make it so obvious to the other person that you may be angry in your mind because you're still working on Manasaha Vegam. At least let it not come to Vacho Vegam. That's what. So that is what we can at least try to do right now. And when even our minds are not affected, and when the Udar Upastha Vegam is also controlled, then we can instruct others. That's a time when we are matured. That's the time when you become mature enough to become an instructor for other people. Right? That is it. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Dana.
Thank you so much. Prabhuji, I had a question on the similar, since I was waiting for everybody else to finish to ask this.
Right.
On the similar topic, I'll probably ask it now since it's in that same line of thought. So Shri Jiva Goswami was considered Shri Rupa Goswami as his guru, and also it is mentioned in the Shri Bhakti-Rasamrita Sindhu, Tad Ninda the Asahishnuta as the 20th Sindhu. So I'm thinking that Shri Jiva Goswami, at least from my perspective, what could he have done? I mean, this also, if one is to honor this limb of asahish, not tolerating, and of course the verse says that tato na apaiti yaha, so one should leave, or one who fails to leave. So yes, he could have left that place, or mentally in his mind, left that conversation as what you are explaining. Is that the right understanding of expressing asahishnuta on the part of Jiva Goswami towards Tat Parasya Janasya, where Shri Rupa Goswami is the highest parikar of or associate of Lord Chaitanya? He's the highest devotee. So how should have Shri Jiva Goswami expressed his asahishnuta to honor this limb? And also another point, that in this commentary, in this verse of Shri Bhakti-Rasamrita Sindhu, I don't see any commentary by Shri Jiva Goswami. If he could have maybe used this as a way to explain a little bit more, but at least the commentary is missing. If you could comment on all these points, I would really appreciate.
The thing is, tan ninda dya sahishnuta. Ninda. What is ninda? Assassination of someone's personal character. Nindanam dosha kirtanam. So, Sri Vallabh Bhatt was not pointing out faults in the personal character of Rupa Goswami. So you can't say that it is ninda per se. But what he was doing was chidranveshan. Chidranveshan means in the text of Rupa Goswami, he found out a certain chidra, a certain mistake. So it was not a ninda, a personal assassination of character of Sri Rupa Goswami. That was not the aim of Sri Vallabh Bhatt. And I don't think Sri Jiva Goswami construed it like ninda. But Sri Jiva Goswami became asahamana. He could not tolerate even the chidranveshan, the fault-finding tendency of Vallabh Bhatt. So that is what went wrong. Because if it was ninda, then Sri Jiva Goswami would be justified. Nindam bhagavatah shrinvans tat parasya janasyava. That is what the Bhagavatam. And Jiva Goswami could have quoted that verse and said, this is my right to, but it was not ninda. It was not ninda. Because nindanam is dosha kirtanam. You glorify somebody's character faults. So that is not what was going on there. So that is the answer to your question.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you. I fully accept everything that you have said. But just for the sake of understanding a little bit deeper, if you may permit, I want to poke a little bit, deepen my understanding. That's my only intention. So in this, like the way at least you explained the pastime was that with that specific verse, he expressed his dissatisfaction, Vallabh Bhatt. But he also said that, I can correct once you are done. I can tell you improvements. I can also see that is also in the similar spirit. But one can think that if somebody is trying to convey that you're not such a good, you don't have that adhikar to write on bhakti, I will make improvements, or I will suggest improvements. Now, again, that is not a character per se, but it is trying to say that you are a little bit going beyond your adhikar. I will fix it. What would you say to that? As again, how does
it is called? You can say, you can call it atikraman. Atikraman means aggression, philosophical aggression. You can call it atikraman. So that's what Vallabh Bhatt did, philosophical aggression. And Rupa Goswami dismissed it because Rupa Goswami knew that the point itself was not valid. Why did Rupa Goswami not argue then and there? Because Rupa Goswami does not have rag and dvesh. He will say, oh, you are not even quoting me correctly. That's not what Rupa Goswami will do. Rupa Goswami is now has reached to such a level of maturity where he just say, yeah, that's okay. Okay, sure, no problem. That's the level of maturity of Srila Rupa Goswami. He's not going to fight it out in a legal debate. He's just going to say, okay, that's all right. So Rupa Goswami's audience also is different. Rupa Goswami, usually a person becomes angry when there is a disturbance to a particular cherished goal that one has. Somebody's cherished goal is disappointed. Rupa Goswami's goal is to give Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu to Suri, the near and dear ones. He's not doesn't want to be a published author with thousands of copies. And in the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, he specifically says, Mimamsa Badava, keep it away from the Mimamsakas. But those who are, typical fault finders, keep it away from them, because you can find a fault with anything. So Rupa Goswami's intended audience is also very Sahriday. So the audience is limited, doesn't have to, go beyond Vrindavan. And then why should he worry about all of this, trying to defend a thesis? It's not, like people defend their PhD thesis. He doesn't have to do that. He's writing for his near and dear ones. So Rupa Goswami didn't take offense. Jiva Goswami took, and Rupa Goswami did not particularly like the fact, because that attitude is not good. Because tomorrow, Jiva Goswami, you have to be a commentator on my works. And if this tendency starts reflecting in your commentaries, then you will start pulling out names, of this person said this, and this is his refutation. And that person said that is his refutation. If this tendency comes out in your commentaries, the entire culture which I want to start, I want to specify, that culture will be lost. Because believe me, there are works where, people have been named and shamed. Khandana Khanda Khadyam of Shri Harsh is, Khanda Khadya means Mishri, so sugar candy. Khanda Khadyam, the sweet sugar candy of refutation. He destroyed the entire Nyaya Shastra in one book, Shri Harsh. So this is because Rag and Dvesh. There is a story about Shri Harsh. I'm sorry, I'm going on a slide. I'll speak a short story. Shri Harsh's father was a Brahmin in the assembly of the king of Kashmir. And another Brahmin, another Pandit in that assembly was Udayanacharya, was very learned logician. So one time Shri Harsh's father and Udayanacharya, they had a debate over something, and the debate got so intense that it came in front of the king, and Udayanacharya said, if I am defeated, I will leave the court. And Shri Harsha's father said, if I am defeated, I'll leave. They had a debate, and Udayanacharya defeated Shri Harsha's father. And he had to leave Kashmir because of that. And Shri Harsha grew up, because I told you it's very difficult to see a father figure being humiliated. Shri Harsha grew up. Udayan was a Vaishnava, by the way. Udayan was a Vaishnava. But he had this tendency of defeating others. So Shri Harsha grew up with this, scar on his heart. And Shri Harsha was an Advaitavadi, a Mayavadi, basically. When he grew up, he went to Kashi and Ujjain and studied all the sciences, all the literature. And finally, he went to Kashmir and he challenged an old Udayanacharya to debate in Nyaya. And Udayanacharya asked him, who are you? He said, I am Shri Harsh, the son of that particular Pandit whom you ousted from the kingdom. Udayan at that point of time said, Gaur agatah, Gaur agatah, Gahu agatah. A cow has come, a cow, because cows are usually considered as not very intelligent. Gaur agatah, Gaur agatah. On the spot, Udayanacharya said, Kim gavigotvam, uta gavigotvam, yadi gavigotvam, mai nai tattvam, agavichagotvam, yadi bhavadishtam, bhavatu bhavatyapi samprati gotvam. Is cowness only present in a cow? Or is cowness present in somebody besides cow? If cowness is present only in a cow, then it cannot be present in me. So your point is defeated. And if cowness is present in entities besides a cow, then let it also be present in you. So you are equally humiliated. In this way, in the very first point, Udayan Acharya was defeated by Shri Harsh. Later, Shri Harsh understood that these Vaishnavas and all people, they use Nyaya Shastra for defending themselves. So I will write a refutation of the entire Nyaya Shastra. I will make the basement of their, philosophy fall. So Shri Harsh wrote Khandana Khanda Khadyam, which was the sweet candy of refutation, where he defeated all the pramanas that, you Vaishnavas give, Pratyaksh Praman, oh, Anuman Praman, oh, Shabda Praman. Acha, what is Shabda Praman? Nyaya Shastra says, Aptopadesha Shabda. The testimony of a reliable authority is Shabda Praman. This is what you Vaishnavas say, right? Now, Khandanam, now I will defeat it. And he says, even your reliable authorities speak the lies. Example, Yudhishthir, Ashwathama, Atova, Narova, Kunjarova. Even Yudhishthir speaks lies. Yes or no? Please tell me.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Then how can you take Shabda Praman as valid? Khandanam. This is the entire book is like this. When this Nyaya Shastra was defeated in this way, when Khandana Khanda Khadyam, after many centuries, with great effort, one person, Navya Nyaya, Gangesh Upadhyay, was able to give the answer. With great difficulty, it was again raised. That in Shabda Praman, there are two types, Paurushaya and Apaurushaya. Paurushaya means that which is spoken by a human being. Apaurushaya means that which is spoken by Bhagavan. Since Yudhishthir is a human being, therefore his Shabda Praman is Paurushaya, and that Shabda Praman is fallible. But Apaurushaya, that which is not spoken by a human being, which is given directly by Bhagavan in the Vedas, is infallible. So that is how they restored the glory of all the Pramanas one by one. So, this is what can happen when personal enmity gets involved. So, till today, we have heard often about Vaishnavas defeating impersonalists. This is because we often hear stories from Vaishnavas. In my childhood, I heard the story of Shri Harsh defeating Udayan Acharya, who was a Vaishnava. So, we should not have personal raga and dvesh. And that is what Sri Rupa Goswami never wanted this culture in Vrindavan. He had heard everything about this culture. He knew it. And he never wanted anything of this culture to enter Vrindavan. That is why. So I hope that makes it clear.
Also kind of makes it clear why Sri Jiva Goswami did not write a commentary on this verse.
Yeah. Yes,
Probably
thank you. Yes,
that he-
yes.
Very nice. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
We'll go with to Kamaniya Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Babaji. Then humble obeisances to your lotus feet and Param Karuṇā Prabhu's lotus feet and all the Vaishnavas, Babaji. As all the Vaishnavas told, like Babaji, it's completely speechless, and we probably thank you or any kind of appreciation will be it's like making no appreciation at all, because it is that level that probably we cannot reach it, So truly amazing classes, Babuji, all throughout all your classes, in fact, as I keep hearing this again and again, just to make sure that no other points are missed out while listening it the first time. And you have, combined and correlated all the different Vaishnavacharya's commentaries, and which we would have a very, very limited access, or probably I would say not access at all, and try to give us a nectar from all the angles, different angles, I would say. Yesterday, like I was listening that why Mathura is better than Vaikuntha. Like nobody, like from that verse, it is very difficult to understand this, but you have mentioned all supporting facts and then why it is better. So it, because it requires a lot of understanding and knowledge from the different shastras. So thank you very much, Prabhuji. And as you know, you are so you are so you always provide with all the proven facts, as Bishwadi Prabhu told, right? So you have great amount of humility, patience, and is that's what we see in your character and personality, and on your, of course, on your lectures, Prabhuji. And as Karuṇā Prabhu said, well, initially that we should start again. So I'm on the same boat that everyone would like to go through again, and maybe based on your convenience and time, of course. So that's what with that we would like conclude our. As I said, there is no words for your appreciation, so I would not say thank you because it might be insulting if I say even thank you word, because the amount of the, whatever we have gained, it's falling up. It's so at high level that even we cannot think of from probably next millions of births. So thank you so much, Babaji. Thank you so much for your wonderful time, and all the Vaishnavas question, because it's very nectarian to understand the exchange of the thoughts and your answers. So thank you so much. And thank you so much to Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu, who has initiated this entire series, and we will definitely, request him that he again starts with some new series with you, and that we can hear again your nectarian lectures. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Vaishnavas.
Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Really grateful that you and Kamala Mataji attended. Really grateful for your like-mindedness. Thank you for your simplicity, Prabhuji and Mataji. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kamniya Krishna Prabhu and Kamala Mataji, for all your wonderful questions. And as Prabhuji said, your simplicity and your genuineness flows through your words. Thank you so much. Okay. So next we will go with Dhananjay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing this session. This helps people like me, who have got kind of ATKT, even after completing the whole session. I think I'm again going through this, going to make a start from zero again, and I'm actually happy to make this start, hoping that again in this second attempt, when I go through all the series, after that I would be able to achieve what was the objective of this Upadeshamritam when it was written. From today's lecture, I wanted to understand about the specific people for whom this was written. You mentioned this was not generic, this was specific. So what would come in that specific? How would I know if I am in that specific set of people?
Originally,
Or should I do some prerequisite before?
Originally, it was only written for Shri Jiva Goswami. But the way the instructions are, the adhikari is somebody who is practicing Vaidhi Bhakti and wants to aspire for Raganuga Bhakti. That is the ideal adhikari. If you are not aspiring for Raganuga Bhakti right now, then till verse 7, including verse 7, you can easily access. But 8, 9, 10, 11, then are not for a person who is not aspiring for Raganuga Bhakti. So at least first 7 verses are for all devotees who are practicing Vaidhi Bhakti. This is what can be said. Right?
So indirectly, can it be assumed that if someone has not understood bhakti of Srimati Radha, they cannot go beyond 7?
The way it was explained till the 7th, by the time you reach the 7th verse, a lot of the concepts will be clear. Right from the beginning, things will be explained. Therefore, so many lectures were given to dedicated to explaining what is what. So please don't worry about that. But by the end of the 7th lecture, and and the 8th lecture, you will start understanding what are the concepts of Vaidhi and Raganuga Bhakti. And if at that point of time you feel that this is not what you're aspiring for, then at that point you can pause. That's all. That's what I can say. Thank you. My
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yadupati Hari Prabhu, please go ahead.
Extremely grateful for this series of lectures, and unfortunately I was not able to join live classes because at the time I know about this already most of the sessions are over. So but really very grateful for this entire series of lectures. Bruce, I had this one doubt, maybe different question, but if we see the entire Upadeshamritam or previous Acharya's lectures, they are focusing really more on bhajan, and even Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written bhajan rahasya and things like that. But I mean, nowadays, I think this concept of organized preaching started from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So if we see the mode of, if we see Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Prabhupada, they are also talking extensively about spreading of the movement and pushing the movement, whereas previous acharyas are solely and wholly focusing on bhajan. It seems like that. So which mood we should adopt, Prabhu? Is it like we should only be predominant with the later acharya, or how to understand this?
It's not that previous acharyas focused only on bhajan and later acharyas are focusing more on that. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will see there were many devotees like Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Haridas Thakur, who were focusing on prachar also. So that mood has been there right since the beginning of the entire sampradaya by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But what got more prominence earlier was that you should have very serious bhajan and then prachar in order to be an accomplished, successful devotee. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very clearly expressed this to when he was speaking. It is in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is mentioned. Both these things are mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and I will share my screen so that you can have a look at this. In Antyalila 4.102, Sanatan Goswami visits the Lord. So he says, "Apane acharya keh na kare prachar, prachar kare na keh na kare achar." That some behave very well but do not preach. Behave means some do bhajan very well, but do not preach, and some preach but do not perform bhajan properly. And then to Haridas Thakur, he says, "Achara prachar namer karah dui karya, tumi sarva guru, tumi jagater arya." So the ideal person, the ideal guru is somebody who first, the sequence is also mentioned, achar and prachar. The sequence is very important. Although he could have said prachar, achar, but he says achar and prachar. This is very important. There's also other hints where janma sarthaka kari kara paropkar. This is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Janma sarthak kari is the first step, and then paropkar is the second step. So this feeling that first we should accomplish our bhajan and then we should perform some prachar. This feeling has been there consistently in the sampradaya. Let's say somebody is a newcomer and they are also performing prachar. Then their role of prachar is very limited, because all they have to do is they have to say that this is what my Gurujanas say, and instead of trying to give one's own arguments, this is what my Gurujanas say, and repeat what the Gurujanas say, and then don't try to become the master of the argument. And bring them to the Gurujanas who have done achar and prachar nicely. That is the role of the newcomer. A newcomer is not supposed to tag themselves, I am a preacher, now I know what to say, what not. No, you don't know what to say, what not to say, because you've not done the acharan, you've not studied the shastras. So the newcomer is not supposed to do that. But a seasoned devotee who has studied, who has performed bhajan, and who then enters into prachar, they have the adhikar to perform the function of a Shiksha Guru. So that is what it is. So a new pracharak, a new preacher, is only supposed to represent the already accomplished pracharak, the already accomplished preacher. And the already accomplished preacher is somebody who has done bhajan nicely. So that has been a consistent line of understanding in the Sampradaya. It has not changed in the past, and anybody who's trying to change it will harm the Sampradaya. Why? Because dilution will enter. Oh, you don't need to learn so much. Just go out and preach. Preach what? Just go out and get the numbers. And then the result of that is people who don't have no idea of Vaishnava Sadachar, then they become influencers on the internet. And when they become influencers on the internet and, they go ahead and start, saying, chalo, bhakti is also okay, a little bit of fun is also okay. And, then they start portraying their material life along with their conceptions of spiritual life. That's when the entire, mood of prachar gets spoiled. Therefore, the consistent theme has been that if you are not very good at achar or at bhajan, then simply represent the expert devotee before you. That's what you should do. And if you are personally expert at bhajan, then you are allowed to perform the function of a guru. That's all. Shiksha guru. That's all. Okay? So I hope that answers your query. Let's unmute him to see if...
Yes, so it was like this Janmasarthak is it like correct? It was not like parallel, it was like one after another mostly.
If you want to do paropakar, bestow benefit unto others, personally, through your speech, first you make your life successful. And if right now you are in the process of making your life successful, then while you are doing prachar, bring them to the person who has already made his life successful. I hope you're able to understand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, in the same line, I have a question.
Right.
I know, you just mentioned about like Shiksha Guru. Oh, I'm a Shiksha Guru. Like one should not say like that. And Shiksha Guru has a very high standard also in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 1.47. It is written here, Shiksha Guru ke ta jani Krishna Raswarupa. So he's like, as you know, very, very high standard there. However, in your, like when you end the classes, yadatra skhalitam kinchit vidvamsah purayantu tat yadastra saustravam kinchit tad guru eva me nahi. You say that, and you say, you all are my Shiksha Gurus. I know you say that out of your humility, but could you like clarify or share a little bit why you consider
because the devotees ask me many questions, and then that helps me understand things from a perspective which even I have not understood before. Definitely they are my gurus. I did not raise those questions in the presentation. Who brought out those questions?
the devotees?
They are my gurus. Hence proved. Otherwise, if I would have already known those questions, I would have raised them in the presentation. It shows that I could not cover all the points in my presentation. That is the incompleteness on my part, which is being already completed by all of you. Yadatra skhalitam kinchit, what was incomplete, you completed by asking questions. Isn't the verse justifying itself? How can the audience not be my guru? They ask queries which I could not cover in the books. Any argument against this?
No, Prabhuji, you have left me speechless, or very, very, very nice point.
When in Naimisharanya, when Sudra Goswami and Shaunak Rishi, so there is exchange of adar, exchange of respect from both parties. So why to glorify the audience? Because the audience is very important. The audience helps us understand things that we do not understand by our own efforts. That is why the audience is very important.
So they can be called gurus, but when you say Shiksha Guru, I mean, there's a specific connotation or a much higher standard placed on that, isn't it?
Well, for me, when I am saying that I am keeping my standard that anybody who has taught me anything. Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, what was his name? Gopal Guru Goswami. I don't know if you know the past time. This Gopal Guru Goswami, just Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was holding his tongue, and Gopal Guru Goswami asked, "Why are you holding your tongue?" It's because I'm going to answer the call of nature, and I don't want to chant Bhagwan's Naam in a contaminated state. And then Gopal Guru Goswami said, "Well, at the moment of death, anyways, you're going to be, all of us are going to be in a contaminated state." So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, your Guru, Gopal Guru. So, your gurus. Even a person who teaches one small thing is a guru. So why not? So all of you are my Guru Janas. You have taught me a lot of Shiksha, which I could not cover in my Upadeshamritam PPTs, PowerPoint slides. All of you taught me all of that. So therefore, all of you are Guru Janas.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Prabhuji. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, we see the 24 types of gurus.
Yeah.
And even birds and animals in that.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. We'll go to Omkar. Oh, sorry, we'll go to Manjari Mataji.
Hare Krishna. My pranam to everyone, Hari Parshad Prabhu and all the attendees. There's no words to express what happened here over so many weeks. This was the only session that I missed, the first one, because I found out about the whole series after the first class, and I was so sad. And I'm just so grateful to you. I can't imagine anyone else ever doing this, going back to something devotees missed, to give us a complete presentation. The foundation is also there. Also, for the sake of transcription, I'm so happy that we also have this, it's not lost, all this knowledge and information. So thank you so much. And throughout the whole series, it was wonderful how you have highlighted so many wonderful sections from Srila Prabhupada. And besides explaining all the commentaries that you've just mentioned in this class that you've used for your studies, you have also pulled in so much Shastra from different places to help us more deeply understand the message of Srila Rupa Goswami. So I'm immensely grateful to you for that. Also, of course, your answering of questions you've just mentioned. And it's one thing to ask questions, but your expertise in answering. And it wasn't just a lesson in philosophy, but it was also a lesson in culture. Because your character is just so wonderful. We've never met in person. I'm really looking forward to having that opportunity. But it just comes through these discussions, the culture and that respect and kindness and that no desire for any selfish gain, just giving what Rupa Goswami gave, giving what you've received from the Acharyas. So yeah, I'm just extremely grateful. And I was wondering if the WhatsApp group we have for Upadeshamritam, is this going to be closed, or would it be open if we continue our studies of Upadeshamritam? And I'm back on class 9 currently because of the transcription, and questions are still coming up. Would it be all right to continue to raise questions connected to the text? So that would be one of my questions. I wanted to let devotees know that I get a lot of personal messages from the group, and I am saving the WhatsApp Q&A also, but I don't have one list with all of it, but I am putting it into the classes that they connect to. So if someone says, can you please send me the WhatsApp questions? I cannot do that because they are in 60 separate files, and they will be there when Hari Parshad Prabhu intends to share them or include them in a book. So they are saved, but not in a way that I can just forward it to anyone. And also there is a group of maybe 8 devotees working on the transcripts progressing slowly because everyone is busy with many other things, but already class 19 is, someone's working on it, although only 8 have been shared in the group because they need to be proofread and edited and fidelity checked. So that is going on. That was just a little information. So I just wanted to express my gratitude and ask if the WhatsApp group would be open and if you'd still be, I mean, it's started somewhere in class 20 that so many questions started and more. And I practically struggle with collecting all of them because there are just so many, but you have been so kind with your time, both in these sessions and in the Q&A section to respond to us, and it's invaluable.
Thank you so much, Mataji. I'm first and foremost, dear devotees, for those of us who do not know, Manjari Mataji is leading the transcription efforts, and I cannot thank her enough because, you know, I myself, I may be good at making presentations and, you know, I'm speaking sometimes, but the way she has organized the entire effort and also the other devotees, she's managing, you know, all of their transcriptions. I'm very thankful to you, Mataji, for kindly organizing this entire effort. I'm really very grateful. And in this way, devotees like your good self are helping out so much. And you know, words cannot express the gratitude that I have for this effort. Vidvan eva vijanati vidvajjana parishramam. Only somebody who is a vidwan, in your case vidushi, you can understand what is the effort of, you know, other vidwans. So thank you so much for that. And yes, the WhatsApp group will remain open for queries which are specifically related to Upadeshamritam. But if a query has been asked where an answer has been given previously, devotees, please feel free to point out that answer. And if a query has been asked and if a particular devotee is sure they know an answer from Shastra and they can quote Shastra, please feel free to give an answer by quoting the Shastra. I may be traveling, so sometimes I may not be able to respond so immediately. And in case I do not respond immediately, please do not think that I have switched off from the group. It's just that many things are going on and, you know, I may take some time to respond. But that is what, let the group remain open. And please no spamming, devotees, all of you, please no spamming the group with Happy New Year and have, you know, many other things. So that is what I'd like to say, or good morning messages. So please let that not happen within the group. So let all the good thoughts come from Upadeshamritam only within that particular group. Once all of that is done, then we'll see what to do with that particular group. We'll rename it or do something else with that group. But for the time being, those of you who are in the group, I'd request please stay in the group. And if you have any queries about any particular question, please ask. And Manjari Mataji she's very nicely collecting all the answers. And then when we publish, finally, I hope to publish someday, then we'll also include all of that in the book that is being published. So thank you, Mataji. Thank you for your kind words. This is what I could do. In material life, I am a complete loser. I could not achieve anything in my material life. So Krishna said, all right, at least do this nicely. So that's what I'm doing, because I could not do anything else nice in my life. So this is what I'm trying to do. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. And it's wonderful news that we can continue to ask questions. And also it's a blessing that Krishna took away whatever, I don't know what's your material ability, but you say there isn't, so that you focus on this. And just a small mention that it would be so wonderful if people like you would need to do nothing else, just speak. And for that, it's so important that we also reciprocate everybody with some dakshina for these presentations, because they're so deserved, and people like you should not work for money. people actually should be maintained, and we benefit so immensely. So I just like to encourage everyone also to offer some dakshina, of course, everyone to their means, but I wish you would not need to have to worry about that at all, and we could just listen to you continuously.
I'm very thankful to the devotees who have contributed. And you said, yeah, Krishna has taken away. Yeah, there's nothing spectacular in my material life to show or demonstrate. So this is what I am. But I'm very thankful to the devotees who, kindly are with me in this particular journey. Thank you, Mataji, for all your efforts. I'm with folded hands, my gratitude for all the efforts that you have taken. Hare Krishna.
Just the last thing, I don't want to take over, but I just want to mention the devotees who are working on the transcript so that they get the credit.
Yes.
So Kasturi Mataji, she's done a lot of transcription, and Suryansh Prabhu, Akshata Mataji, Bhaktin Sima Mataji, Paramgati Prabhu, I'm just going down, Vamshidhari Gopal Prabhu, and Nilachala Chandrika Mataji. So it's a whole team, and they're all contributing so kindly. So credit goes to them.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you to all these wonderful devotees. And if there's anybody else who should be given credit, but I have missed out, my sincere regrets. But please know that, my sincere thanks to all those devotees who have contributed in any way to this particular series of talks. Thank you to all the wonderful devotees who have kindly contributed to the transcription seva. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful effort, Manjari Mataji. Thank you so much. I hope to meet you as well someday. And it's a great effort that you're leading. And I'm happy you mentioned about Dakshina. I know Prabhuji doesn't like to talk about it much, but I would just like to mention that
This talk is not about Dakshina. We already did that. Chalo, let's move ahead, Prabhuji.
I will just say that you can watch the talk number 59 for the details. So yeah, I also wish that Prabhuji doesn't have to work for money, and his time and his energy is best used in he's already doing so much for the Vaishnava community. I have personally benefited so much from Prabhuji's lectures, and I just cannot imagine how much the benefit more is available. And luckily, Prabhuji is by material standards young, and has a lot. I mean, has a long. I look forward to many deep contributions. I just can't wait to see what Prabhuji will come up with in the future years and decades. It will be a monumental contribution to the entire, for many years, many centuries. And he can do that if he is not burdened with other material commitments. So I sincerely pray that Prabhuji is able to dedicate 100% of his available time to his, this is his bhajan, I think, and to polish the feet, the shoes of Sri Rupa Goswami and Sri Jiva Goswami. And I sincerely pray that he's able to do that for the rest of his life. And I pray to all of us and to the Lord that they enable him to do that.
I'll be fortunate if I just somehow scrape through this life while chanting my 16 rounds. But that would be my achievement. But everything else is, if I can just chant my 16 rounds nicely, that will be a good achievement for me. Nothing more. But anything else is extra. But thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll go to Omkar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dana Pranam. I had a second question, Prabhu. Before that, I'd just like to share a small point to all the devotees. It's not that Prabhuji could not achieve anything in material life, but he actually basically denied many other opportunities which Prabhuji had. So I won't go into the details. Prabhuji had some offers back like 10 years back where he was invited for a very good income and other things, but he did not accept the offer because he wanted to study and serve Guru Maharaj and our parampara. So it's just a humility point of view.
That's where you become a loser in material life. So let's stop here. Chalo.
Yeah, yes, true. That may be your point of view. Prabhu, the question I had was about like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disappearance. There are like I think three understandings for that. One is like Sriman Mahaprabhu disappeared in Sri Jagannath temple, and then one in Tota Gopinath temple, and other in this basically ocean. So I wanted to understand like different biographers have given different ideas for that. So how did Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur took that understanding?
I mean, here also I should give credit. It was not me who found this out. I had gone to Jagannath Puri. I was in the Tota Gopinath Mandir, and a very renowned Vaishnava, Shri Fakir Mohan Prabhu, was giving a class. This was the first time I was hearing him, and then he spontaneously said, "This is the place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared." And then I had probed him and said, but I've heard three different versions. And then he immediately quoted Praman, "Ha ha kashtam sakala jagatam bhakti bhajam vishesham gopi nathalaya parisare kirtane tatpadoshe." Then I made it a point to remember the words he had uttered. I heard and I remembered what he had said, and I found out the verse. It's from Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, I think he was in district magistrate or something in Jagannath Puri. So he spent a considerable amount of time researching the history and finding out all the versions. And this, according to Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, was the most authentic understanding of the disappearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Although he did not specify his reasons, but Sri Fakir Mohan Prabhu took it as an established fact from there that this is the most dearest to the heart of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, this particular pastime of disappearance. So that is why I quote it, because Sri Fakir Mohan Prabhu is also dear to me. He was also dear to the Sangha of my Shiksha Guru, Sri Srimad Gaur Govind Maharaj. And he was also dear to Sri Ananta Vasudeva Prabhu, who was Sri Ganesh of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Yes.
So he's a very special personality, and it is from him that I got this particular verse, and then I found it out. So that is all I can say. But I didn't go into the details as to why Bhaktivinoda Thakur decided to speak this. But I surmise, the English term surmise is infer from incomplete evidence. Infer from incomplete evidence. I surmise that he must have done his research thoroughly in Jagannath Puri and come to this conclusion.
Okay. Just question was going to be like, has Thakur Mahasaya given some basically his research or basically some writings where he has his ideas about?
Even if he has given, see, the biographers who gave the other versions appeared much before him. So, he has to flatly deny them, which I doubt he will. So this is his understanding, and Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur's understanding after studying the situation from all points of view. Also, because let me give a personal reflection upon that. The ocean is non-different from Yamuna in Jagannath Puri. And
Yes.
Jagannath temple is like a
Dwarka.
representation of Dwarka. Chatak Parvat is Govardhan. And near Chatak Parvat is Tota Gopinath Mandir. And this is where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared. Right, so now you can connect the dots and
Yes, yes,
all
yes,
right.
sir. Yes, sir. And Prabhu, the author of Gaur Krishna there, was he contemporary to Srimad Mahaprabhu or a
No, no,
long
no.
time after Mahaprabhu?
He was some time after. Some time after, but is not contemporary.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
But
Prabhu. Dhanavad Pranam.
his text gives validation to Upadeshamritam. The main reason
Yes.
why his text is because the other scholars never considered, like Sushil Kumar De, he mentioned that Upadeshamritam is incorrectly ascribed to Rupa Goswami. It may not be his. But Sushil Kumar De did not mention that the Gaur Krishnodaya directly mentions the verses of Upadeshamritam. And it mentions that
Yes.
it was Rupa Goswami who wrote them down from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mouth. So that particular detail is skipped in Sushil Kumar De's analysis of, although Sushil Kumar De is a very respected scholar, I respect him for all his contributions, but all scholars do not cover all the things at all the times. So this is one particular
Yes.
thing which Sushil Kumar De's analysis missed out, which Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's analysis did not miss out. And that's why Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's analysis has turned out to be more authentic in this regard, for me at least. Thank you.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the classes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Dhanavad Pranam.
No problems.
On the, again, similar line of thought, is it also not right, is it to say that, great acharyas like Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur are able to see some of these pastimes in their samadhi, just like Narad Muni instructed Vyasadeva to go in samadhi and visualize the pastimes and write Srimad Bhagavatam. So
Yes.
we have to take these at one level at face value as well, coming from such a great acharya.
Wonderful. Yes. So that is also that he saw in Samadhi. That is also an explanation. My only issue is why I don't take that particular stance is sometimes because some devotees, not all devotees, some devotees have a tendency that this is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, everything else is false. So that is not what I would like to do, because that is violence towards the other authors who wrote their realizations. The author of Gaur Krishnodaya wrote that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared on the shore of the ocean. That deserves to be acknowledged and respected. And some other authors from Orissa wrote that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared in the Jagannath Mandir. That deserves to be acknowledged and respected. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared at Tota Gopinath temple. That also deserves to be acknowledged and respected. But most respected for me personally is what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, because he is closest to me in mood and closest to me in Sampradaya. So that is the point of view that I'd like to take. Other authors I respect. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur might have seen this in his Samadhi, that also I respect. But it doesn't invalidate what the other authors have said. If this mood is there, as long as this mood is there, I'm okay with saying that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur saw it in his Samadhi. So that is my answer to what you're saying.
Yes, absolutely. That is a very vital point.
Yeah.
That how we accept multiple viewpoints from various such great acharyas. All of those, if this alone is the reason that they all saw various aspects in their samadhi, and if some of them may be mutually, complementary, but some of them may be completely mutually exclusive, and how to harmonize in one's heart that accept both and respect both, and one can have just their own personal liking to side with one particular explanation, requires a great level of maturity. And I can say that this is actually one of the big things I have received from you, specifically only from you, this extreme amount of broad-mindedness and this ability to be at peace, or not just at peace artificially, but truly to believe in the heart that yes, both are correct. How they are correct, even if they are mutually exclusive, have respect for both, and to be able to deal with that theoretical vagueness is something I don't know if I can express it properly in words, which is logically correct, but I have received that from you. And I really, among many other things, but
the thing is, I've seen in some parts of the world, in some other religious circles, there is this tendency, and you can see it on various stickers in the United States. And this is what it is. You can read Prabhu what he says.
God said it, I believe it, that settles it.
That's it. So this tendency is what is counterproductive to progressive thought. So below it says it is a good thought. It conveys the message that since God said it, then I believe it. It is then settled, because I will not argue with my God about it, nor will I listen to anyone who may try to get me to question his word. If this is, however, this is not productive to progressive thought. And this is not the vision of the Acharyas. God said it, I believe it, that settles it. That is not how we think. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said it, I believe it, that settles it. Srila Prabhupada said it, I believe it, that settles it. So this is not how I think. And this is not how I would like devotees who are studying Upadeshamritam to think. Yes.
Very nice, Prabhuji. But also at the same time, there is somewhere a line to be drawn between what we again, consider. And again, I'll just take a very, very obvious example, but one could use it to argue. I recently came across this thing known as a spaghetti church. Have you heard of that, Prabhuji?
Yeah. The flying spaghetti monster.
Flying
Yes.
spaghetti monster, exactly.
Mhm.
And it's obviously by an atheist who is trying to, pull a satire on intelligent design and saying that, okay, for me, God is a spaghetti monster. And so those kind of things, we cannot say that person was in samadhi and saw God as a spaghetti monster.
Sure.
But that's just an extreme example. But at the same time, I think we have to be careful where to draw the line on accepting or rejecting. I mean, I categorically reject the spaghetti monster as person.
I don't
Human imagination.
I don't reject the spaghetti monster.
Oh,
I don't
could you
reject.
comment?
Sarva bhuteshu yah pashyat bhagavad bhavam atmana. The highest personality is he who can see Bhagwan in everybody and in every entity. Spaghetti, as well as conceptions of monsters, are all products of the material world. And if an individual is able to see the presence of God in spaghetti or even within monsters, it means that the atheist, to a certain degree, has progressed in his understanding of God. So rather than seeing God in nothing, he is now at least able to see God in two objects. So welcome to the school of theists, to the atheist who is now at least able to see God in two objects. All these atheists in the modern world are good as long as they don't meet Eastern philosophy. They're all arguing primarily against Christianity and Islam. Let them try to come face to face with Nyaya Shastra. That will settle it for once. And Navya Nyaya. That will settle it for once. Then they will come to know what is actual logic and debate. Because Navya Nyaya is not child's play. It is not child's play. So at least the person who, spaghetti monster, atheist, at least is able to see Bhagwan in two entities. He has progressed. The Nyaya Shastri will say he has progressed in his understanding of God. And Sanketyam Parihasyam Va Stobham Helanam Eva Va. Even in joke, he has tried to utter the name of God. So he has progressed. So that is what I would like to say. CK.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Mohit Deshmukh Prabhu messaged about a particular some question. I'll ask to unmute. If you can unmute and ask your question. He said he's not able to unmute. I don't know. He's asking if Jiva Goswami accepted or took Diksha. So from Shri Rupa Goswami, or who was his Diksha Guru? I think that's his question.
He doesn't mention that directly because Diksha Gurus are supposed to be hidden. Most likely it is from Shri Rupa Goswami.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. We come to our end of our Q&A. I will request everybody to unmute themselves. Thank you so much for this whole series. It has been life-altering, and I don't mean to say that lightly by any stretch. And my association with you has been life-altering. This series itself has been extremely, extremely valuable in my spiritual progress. Thank you.
I just like to say that I am a very ordinary human being with all the faults of an ordinary human being. So that I was able to speak this series, it is good. But in case tomorrow, if any of you sees that I'm not living up to the standards that I spoke, still the message is correct, even though the person may have faltered. So the message that was given, Sri Rupa Goswami's message, will always stay correct, even though I may or may not be able to follow it. If you see a fault in me tomorrow, it is not the fault of the teachings of Sri Rupa Goswami. That is my personal fault. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Looking forward for your visit.
Hare Krishna.
Counting the days. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Devotees, please express your appreciation and gratitude.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
श्रीमान हरि पार्षद प्रभु जी की जय
Prabhupada ki jai.
Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for your wonderful
हरि बोल
Hare Parshad Prabhu ji.
greatly indebted to you प्रभु जी हरे
Ananta
कृष्णा
Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srila Rupa
वृंद की
Goswami
जय श्री
Prabhupada ki jai.
रूपा
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी दंडवत
Prabhu.
प्रणाम
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
हरे
Dandavat pranam Prabhuji.
हरे
Hare Krishna.
Also, many thanks to Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu, who could
Yes.
not be.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
This would not have been
Thanks.
possible.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Dhameshwar.
you.
Jai.
Thank you,
हरि
Prabhuji.
बोल
Thank you.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी थैंक यू प्रभु जी
Thank you. Thank you. Hare
What
Krishna.
do we do next week?
Chiranjeevi.
Prabhu Prime. Thank you, Prabhuji. Haribol.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. My pranams. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
I'll close the call after you drop, Prabhuji. So please feel free to.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Nobody.
Hare Krishna.